This is the Primal Shave Safety Razor. I just used it around about half an hour ago, and it's the first time I've ever used a manual razor and not had any shaving burn or irritation. So I've got to say, I'm pretty excited about this and I wanted to do a review of it. Now I won't lie, I was actually sent this by Primal Shave because they asked me to test it out. However, I'm not being paid by them, so this is going to be a completely unbiased review. I was actually contacted by, well, I have been contacted by various other companies in the past who've tried selling their various products and wanted me to upload a video onto YouTube. But I've always declined because they seem to completely ignore the reason why I made that one blade video all those years ago. And that's because pretty much every single razor I've ever used has caused shaving irritation, and it's not been very pleasant. So when I found that Primal Shave here wanted to create a product that's perfect for people like me who have problems with shaving irritation, and in fact even their starter set that has a product with the shaving cream is designed to soothe the skin as well, and they've got a blog post about reducing shaving sensitivity. Everything just seemed to make sense, so I've got to say I jumped at it and I said, yeah, send me one, and I'm really pleased I agreed. So tell you what, I'm going to do a bit of unboxing of this. I'm going to show you the shave and then a bit of a conclusion. But yeah, let's roll that intro. So what we've got here is the Primal Shave shaving kit. It's got everything you need to start off, which means it's going to be perfect for a gift or, well, if you're doing a review like today. So what we got here is, well, firstly, just a simple cardboard box. I've got to say, actually, I quite like that a lot of manufacturers are doing this now because, let's face it, we're going to chuck away the packaging, so it might as well be recyclable. We start off here with Primal Shave leaflet. It gives you a bit of information about the history behind safety razors. Turns out they've been around for well over 100 years, but technology has changed, as you know, in recent times, so that's why we are going to be reviewing this product today and not something from 50 years ago. Anyway, it's got information about actually setting up the razor and using it properly as well. I'm only just quickly showing you that screen there because I will be going through this more when I actually do the shave. Okay, of course this is the main part of all of it, and I don't know if it'd be easier to show you on the camera here, but this is the actual safety razor, and I've got to say, it does, not only does it look good, it's really well balanced. I can hold that between my thumb and forefinger there and just feel that it's really well weighted like that. So when I'm shaving, I just only have to use the weight of the actual razor itself just to glide across the skin, and that means reduced shaving irritation. So I've got to say, I'm pretty impressed with this so far. Also, might be worth noting, no plastic. So when you are finally finished with this, it's just going to be recycled. It's not going to go in landfill, hopefully. So that, alongside the razor blades, means this is extremely good for the environment in comparison to disposable razors. I'm going to set this up in a minute, but let's have a look through the rest of the kit here. So we've got the actual razor blades. You change these each week, so a pack of 5 is really just for testing it out. But it's actually worth noting that to replace the razor blades for this is super cheap. Over a year, you're looking at £7. It's unbelievable, really. That's 50 blades. Now, if you compare that to what it would cost for a disposable razor, I'd be surprised if you get 2 or 3 blades for the same price as a whole year's supply of razor blades. So, you know, price alone, that's great, but again, for the environment, no plastic, you can recycle these. Excellent, I'm loving that. Then we've got the bore brush. Now, although this has a bit of plastic, it's the only plastic I've seen in the box so far. And these bore brushes, they should last a long time. This is for mixing up that lather, putting on your face. As far as I've seen online, this helps sort of prick up the hairs a little bit, so it makes it a lot easier to shave. Also, the actual lather as well gives it a smoother feel for when actually shaving. Lastly, we have the crema de barba. It's obviously not pronounced like that. This would be, if I had an Italian accent, I'd pronounce it very differently. You've got the shaving cream. Now, I haven't actually looked at this yet, so maybe I can show it on the camera here. It's got eucalyptus oil in it, and this helps soothe the face. Now, one of the main reasons I accepted this kit from Primal Shave, and I will mention this at the beginning of the video as well, is because they have focused on shaving sensitivity. They know it affects me. They supplied a product which is designed to prevent shaving irritation, and they've even thought about putting a product in that reduces shaving irritation after the shave, post-shave. It's got eucalyptus oil. That's great. Let's have a little look in the package. Anything interesting there? Just a tube of stuff. There we go. Most of it's in Italian, by the way. I will say that. Apart from the bit that says with eucalyptus oil. Great. So here's our kit. That part can be chucked into the composter, or I don't know, it might have to go in the landfill, sadly, but the actual package itself, that can all be recycled. So I'm loving that. That's excellent. Okay, so I think it's time to try setting this up, and then I'm going to do the shave. Okay, so on to the shave. Now luckily Primal Shave have given a bit of a manual, so I know how to shave properly to reduce shaving irritation, although I've got quite a few useful comments as well to help on this one, so I'm going to go through those. If you want to find out a bit more information, then, well, buying one of these kits will give you one of these, or they do a pretty useful blog post on their website, so you can find a bit more there. What we're going to do first is assemble the razor. Now I'm just going to briefly go through this, because I've actually already assembled it. Just take it out here. So here's the top of the head here, and the razor blade is just wedged inside. And what you do is you take the other part of the head, place it on top of the screw here. I forgot this camera has terrible autofocus, so I don't know if you can really see that there, but it should all just wedge together. And lastly, what you want to do is take the handle like so and just screw it all together. And that way you've got a double-edged safety razor. Okay, now that's all together, I think we're ready to go. What you got to do first? Well, earlier I prepped my face a little bit by putting a hot towel on. This helps soften all the hairs. I think it sort of makes the skin a little easier to glide over as well. Helps reduce shaving irritation. So what I've got is a hot towel. I've held it on my face for a couple of minutes, but what you do is just prep it, just like so, or after a shower. About 2 minutes should do the trick, or just straight after a shower. Either or is good. And what you want to do is get your brush, put a little bit of hot water on there, and your shaving cream. Now you build up a bit of a lather, and go in circles on your face, just small little circles, and this helps bring the hairs up. You can really smell the eucalyptus on this, so it's quite nice actually, and that helps soothe the skin. So without it, it does actually make quite a big difference. I've tried quite a lot of these shaving creams over the years, and if you don't have the right ingredients, just the shaving cream alone can make your skin all irritated and red. So it's important to have a good product. All right, okay, should be about right. The idea, I think, is that it's quite well balanced, so you just let the weight of the head itself just glide over. Yeah, that does a good job actually. Cool. Right. Okay, so I've done the first pass. Obviously you can tell it hasn't done a complete job, but as far as I know, that's what the whole point is. You do the second lather and then you go again just to get rid of the rest of the hairs. You try doing it all in one go, you're going to get irritation from that. So on to the second pass. Also, you've probably already noticed this already, but you go with the grain, not against, otherwise you're just going to ruin your face on that one. Alright, more lather. Alright, so I'll just complete the shave. Obviously there's a few bits I did manage to cut myself, but apart from that, I'm pretty happy with that. It doesn't feel crazy itchy because it hasn't actually gone all the way to the skin. There is just a little bit of stubble left. You can probably hear it on the mic. Maybe. Well, either way, there's a little bit of stubble, and some people might be happy with that. Some people might want to avoid that, but that's what I've got, and it works for me. So now what I want to do is just splash cold water on my face. If you have some of that antiseptic or whatever it is there to put on there to stop these from blistering up, then that might be worth putting on as well. But I'm just going to put some cold water on. Okay, so that's one clean shave. Pretty happy with that. Excellent. I think it's time to conclude this. Now don't worry, I've read the comments in my other videos and I know I do tend to rant or talk a little bit much. It's a bad habit, so I'm going to conclude this quickly. This thing here costs £15, which, as far as I've seen online comparing to other products, is pretty well priced. If you want to go for the kit, it's £29.99, and that comes with the shaving cream, the brush, of course this, and some blades to get you started. So overall, I see it as being pretty well priced, especially when you think that for a whole year's supply of blades, it costs less than £7. I mean, you can't really argue with that. So yeah, this is an all metal construction. It's going to be great if you need to recycle it in the future, no plastic involved here. I've got to say, I really like this. I'm going to be using it again in the future, that's for sure. The only thing I would note is, and it's not necessarily a downside, just something to keep in mind, and I'm sure I mentioned it in the actual shave itself, but this leaves a little bit of grain. It's something that you can probably see up close or if you run your finger up your skin, but from a distance you won't notice it. Now this is just a bit of a trade-off, because if you're using a normal razor and you shave all the way to the skin, that's where the irritation occurs for a lot of people. This leaves a little bit of stubble and prevents shaving rash. Do you know what? I'm happy with that trade-off, it works for me. Anyway, as I say, I'm not actually affiliated with Primal Shave in any way, and for that reason I haven't got any links to click on. Just search them online, and if you order one of these, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Anyway, do subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Bye.